What's up, everybody? We're up here on the roof of my house today, and today we're talking about half-ass work. Yep, half-ass work that I just can't stand. So recently we had to switch. We didn't have to, but we switched from Conifer Communications as our internet provider to Comcast. Now I'm all for supporting local. I've referred probably 15 or 20 customers to Conifer. I'm big into referring and networking and sending business to quality people, but we ended up being able to get Comcast, and I avoided it. I'm not a big fan of Comcast, but when it came down to it, we could get speeds 5 to 7 times faster for half the price. So that was a big jump. So I'll pay 10%, even 20% more and support a local business rather than a big, corporate. But when it's 5 to 7 times faster and half the price, then we decided to do it. And we switched over 3 of our businesses as well for internet and phone. And when we did that, we're saving about $100 a month per business. So we're saving $300+ a month by making this switch. So I was all for them. I mean, I was happy with their service, but when I canceled them, I canceled their service, asked them to come out and remove the dish off my roof, which I wasn't always crazy about it being on my roof anyways. And they came out and removed it, and I specifically in my instructions said, hey, push the wire back in the hole where it comes out. It comes out through a gable vent, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. I specifically asked push that back in the hole so it's not hanging out. It saves me time of having to get up on my roof, get up on a ladder. They're already here. They might as well just make it look as if the dish was never here. And that's how I believe in doing installs. If you're going to remove something, make it look like it was never there to begin with. So they came out, they removed the dish. The wire was hanging off the roof. I'll show you that here. The wire's hanging off the roof. They left the base of the dish on my roof, didn't remove that. I emailed them, and they just kind of pretty much said, oh, well, that's what we do. If you want us to remove the plate off your roof, you need to sign a waiver. Well, it's on the overhang part, so it's not even directly in the roof area. And they could have just removed it and siliconed up the holes, just like they have the base silicone. And to top it all off, he said he repoed my dish, which I specifically canceled it. They didn't repo it. I canceled the service and told them why I canceled the service. And then the icing on the cake was a month later, they charged me for another billing cycle. And so I had to contact them again and say, hey, we canceled this over a month ago. And so they had to refund me all of that. So ultimately, I'm just not happy with the removal. They should have removed the dish off my roof and made as if it was never even there. But they didn't. They half-assed it. They came up, they even clipped the wire. So here's another thing. Comcast, Dish, Conifer, all these installers, when they come out to install a dish, they want the quickest, easiest way to do it. They don't want to do it right. They want the quickest, easiest, laziest way to do it. So they're going to run a cable down the side of your house, drill a hole through the side of your house, and make it easy. Instead of doing it right and running it into the attic or running it into, underneath the house and going into an interior wall and into a wall jack or into a plug. So when I did have this installed, I ran my own cable in my house. So I ran the cable into an interior wall. So I had ends on the cables. I did it right, did it properly. So when they came out, what they do, they just took some snips, snipped the wire. So they cut the wire. So now I have to put, if I ever want to use this cable within my house anywhere, I have to put a new end on it. So they ruined my cable, causing me time and material that I got to put an end on it. They didn't put the cable back in because they said they couldn't pull it back through in. They didn't even try. I'm going to show you because I'm going to do it here really quick. And they didn't remove the base off. So I think they just got on the roof, did it as quick and easy as possible, half-assed it, lazy way of doing it. And that's why I'm making this video, to show you guys that this is not how you should conduct business. When I asked you to do it right, you should have said, no problem, we'll get out there and take care of it, but you just blew me off. So here's all the steps that you should have taken to do this process properly. I'm not going to remove the base yet today. I'm actually going to consult my roofer just to make sure that it's all done right. And then here's stuff that they left up on my roof. I found a couple screws and bolts. This is stuff that could come off the roof. and when it rains, this screw could come down into our driveway and get in a car. So, you know, make sure that you pick up all your screws and your bolts. You know, I had a roofing company completely do my entire roof, and every day when I showed up here, I didn't find one nail, and they pulled hundreds if not thousands of nails off this roof. You guys only had to pull a few things out and you left parts. So there's the base unit. All they had to do was just remove some silicone here, pull the base unit off, re-silicone up the holes, would have been just fine, which is what I'm going to be doing. And then of course here's the cable just hanging off my roof. Every time I drive by, it's just waving at me, hey, look at me, I half-assed your job. So I'm going to do it right, get my extension ladder, get up here and put it back into the attic. All right, here we go. So I'm going to get the extension ladder out. Going to crawl up there and put this wire back in the gable vent there that they left hanging off my roof. So here's the wire just hanging out here, just waving at me, and it's just simply stapled up underneath. And we're just gonna pull those off, take this, and just push it back in the hole. Exactly what I asked them to do when they removed my dish. Do it properly, do it right. There we go, it's pushed back in. That's all they had to do. And it's all taken care of. There's the screws hanging out the bottom from the mount. So we're going to remove that mount, silicone that up. Got the wire pushed back in. Took me all of maybe 5 minutes to come up here and do this. If they would have just done that, no big deal. Happy camper, happy customer. Would have kept on referring them and sending people their way. I would have wanted to come home and seen that there was no sight of a dish ever being on my roof. But an extra 5 minutes of work was, I guess, too much for them.